Hello, hello, hello. Today I wanted to take a look at the best and most interesting upcoming co-op games that is releasing this year. One of the best co-op games this year have probably already been released, and that is Splitfiction. I highly recommend that game if you haven't played it. But that begs the question, are there any other good co-op games releasing this year? The games in this video are in no particular order. Let's get started. We start with one of the most anticipated games this year, Elden Ring NIGHTREIGN. From Software isn't really known for their co-op games, more so for their brutal, Souls-like obviously action-adventure games. Although they have had co-op features in all of the games, I wouldn't argue these are the best co-op features, but now they're taking a stab at a Souls-like, roguelike co-op adventure taking place within the Elden Ring world. The game is through-play co-op, and you'll spend a few days in the game gathering resources for the final boss fight at the end. You'll have small boss fights in the middle and limited time to gather the resources during the days and nights within the game. And it seems like they've gone all out in this game, introducing new skills, new classes, new bosses, but also obviously brought back a lot from previous games. Personally, I think this one looks sick, and I can't wait to play this one on the 30th of May. But before that, just a day away is Lost Skies. I'm not the one that usually plays open world survival crafting games, but this one definitely has the aesthetics and game setting that I kind of like. Taking place in a fractured world, you explore ancient ruins and mysterious islands up in the sky. So the whole game is based in the sky, and you can glide around and obviously build skyships. There is a whole base building system in the game and an enemy faction hunting you. You can even customize and build your own islands within the game. And in general, there seems to be a lot to explore within the game. This will launch into early access, and they're aiming for the 1.0 release being Q3 this year. So not staying too long in early access. Releasing on 18th of April, real soon. Then we have Tears of Metal, a medieval hack-and-slash co-op roguelike. The combat in the game reminds me a bit of Dynasty Warriors, with these kind of big battles where you just slaughter a ton of enemies. And in this one, you can do it in co-op. And within the game, you have kind of your own battalion or a little squad of troops. And you get to recruit, upgrade, and gain permanent skills for these troops. So the battles in the game should be quite big. The game's story revolves around your Scottish battalion reclaiming your island from a mysterious dragon meteor that have crash landed on the island and brought with it an invasion. I really like the art direction in the game as well. Cel-shaded, simple, but also very distinct and kind of raw in a sense. And it seems to play very well from what it looks like, with a lot of different skills, characters, and weapons. No exact release date for this one yet, but planned for 2025. Next up is Jump Ship, a co-op FPS set in space, and it's structured kind of interesting as you will be piloting a ship. So someone have to steer the ship while someone handles emergencies like fires on the ship, someone can sit in the turret, and then you can also be on top of the ship. And then you will not only be in space, you will also go down to planets, raid bases, and kind of get out with the loot. And there are even chase scenes after this. I like the overall visuals of this game. I think the gunplay looks a bit weak, a bit unimpactful, but it's definitely an interesting dynamic of having to take care of the ship and also go down on planets, into bases, to collect rewards and upgrades for your ship, while staying alive and helping each other out. This one will enter early access sometime 2025, and they're not sure how long it will be in early access, but they're at least planning for 3 months, but probably longer. And the full game will have more missions, scenarios, and be overall more polished. Then we have Begone Beast, a very cute top-down action game for 1 to 4 players, where you kind of hack and slash your way through hordes of demons. I really like the art style here. A game with a bit of humor, but still looks very creepy, at least the bosses. This one has couch co-op as well. As it is a top-down game, you will always be on the same screen from what it looks like. The levels are procedurally generated, and the characters will have unique weapons and abilities. But it looks very frantic, with you almost always being chased by a ton of enemies and some really creepy bosses, at least the one they show off. This one will also enter early access sometime this year. No exact time on how long they will be in early access, but for now they have 2 major bosses and environments in the game, a few characters you can unlock, a few weapons, and the full game will obviously expand upon everything within the game. Continuing on the horror vibe, we have Little Nightmares 3. The third game in the series is releasing this year. No exact date for it yet, but the third game definitely seemed to continue on the same track as the last two, with a creepy vibe where two players are trying to find a way out of nowhere. And you'll have to survive in this nightmarish world, solve puzzles, with a bit of platforming as well. I haven't played the first two in the series, I've only seen a bit from them, so I definitely need to catch up on these two before the third one gets released, because this one looks really good, like the atmosphere is on point. Then we have Shape of Dreams, an action roguelite where the developer described the game as MOBA style gameplay. I would just call it an action roguelite. Sure, it's played from a top-down view with skills, so it is very much the same. And I've actually played this one quite a lot, and didn't realize at all that it would be in co-op as well, and 4-player co-op. But the game has really good gameplay, fast, snappy, with a ton of build potential within it. And you have a few skills, and you can also get modifiers for the skills. And you also have different characters that all play very differently, and also kind of a standard roguelike map, with a boss at the end, of course. I wonder how this will be balanced with 4 people, because the maps you play on are quite small and you just have to eliminate everything and then you can move on. The skills are also very flashy in the game, so I'm very interested to see if there will be too much effects on the screen or if they have balanced this properly. But yeah, can't recommend this one enough. There is a demo for the game available if you want to try it out today. Otherwise, the release date will be sometime this year. No exact date yet, fortunately. Next up is Terminator Survivors. I think I saw the announcement for this one a while back, but didn't really think about it that much. And we don't really have that much information about the game yet, other than that it's taking place after the Judgment Day, set in an open world, and it's a co-op survival base builder. Looks to be a very high quality game, but I'm very interested in seeing how they will balance this game, because Skynet and Terminators are quite powerful. But what's more interesting is that they will have iconic characters from the franchise in the game, but the story will obviously revolve around trying to change humanity's fate. Much appropriate for the franchise, but I would assume hopeless as always. It is a 4-player co-op game with what sounds like combat that can be approached in different ways. Long range, up close and personal, or stealth to just avoid Skynet entirely. But yeah, not too much on the game yet, but I'm kind of intrigued by placing a survival co-op in the Terminator universe. No exact date for this one yet, but release is planned for sometime this year. Then we have REANIMAL. And this is actually from the studio that made Little Nightmares 1 and 2. Little Nightmares 3 will be developed by Supermassive Games. I don't actually know the story why they're not making the third one, because REANIMAL is very close to Little Nightmares 3 in its presentation, that it is a co-op horror adventure as well. But I would argue this one looks even better than Little Nightmares 3, even creepier, with an even more horrific atmosphere to it as well. The story here is a brother and sister trying to rescue their missing friend from a very creepy island that they used to call home, but it seems like stuff has gone to hell. To say the least. Yeah, can't wait for this one. This also supports split screen co-op, online co-op. You can play this by yourself as well. But yeah, release is expected to be sometime this year. Up next is the most anticipated co-op game releasing this year, Subnautica 2. It is insane if you go back and look at the first one. It sits at overwhelmingly positive on Steam, with 97% of the reviews being positive, and there are 279,000 reviews. That is insane. But the first one is single player only, and the second one will be in co-op. And if you don't know what Subnautica is, it's an open world survival crafter under the water on an alien planet. And it seems to expand upon everything that the first one did great, where you obviously explore diverse biomes, you craft new tools to aid you in your exploration, you'll have to survive terrifying depths, all that good stuff you want from this type of game. This one will launch into early access, and they plan to stay in early access for 2 to 3 years. And that kind of fits with the first game. It spent a bit over 3 years in early access, so they kind of want to go the same route, involving the community in every step of the way. No release date for the early access launch, but it's planned for 2025. Then we have Golf with Your Friends 2. I really like the first one. It's a very simple minigolf game where you and your friends play minigolf on crazy arenas. And you can play this with 11 other friends. And there are of course crazy rules, maps, mechanics, balls you can get. It's a very simple game but very fun. Radical Forge and Team 17 that is developing this game hasn't released much about it yet at all, but from the pictures it looks very similar to the first game. It will launch into early access and will stay there for approximately 6 months. The early access launch will have 2 courses, local, online, multiplayer, level editor, tutorial. Yeah, very basic. I'm very surprised there's only 2 courses in the early access release. That isn't much in form of gameplay. I wonder what the price will be, but they will of course expand upon everything during the early access. But yeah, hopefully this one turns out great, as the first one is very simple but so much fun. Next up is Marvel Cosmic Invasion, a 2D beat 'em up with 15 Marvel heroes with an amazing pixelated graphical style, and all the characters and the art style is taken straight out of the 90s. It looks so good, so vibrant. Annihilus is attacking and you'll have to gather your heroes in order to defend against his invasion. The game has drop-in and drop-out co-op, split-screen co-op, online co-op, cross-platform multiplayer. My biggest concern is how deep the combo system in the game goes, but it has kind of an interesting tag team system where you choose 2 heroes and you can switch between them, and I think that at least will lend itself to some interesting combos. But I think the gameplay looks very crisp, very fun, and not too demanding, and I would assume if the game does well they will add more and more characters to it, and hopefully more maps, enemies and story as well. Release is planned for sometime this year, no exact date yet. Next up is Killing Floor 3. It's kind of cool to see how successful this simple premise have become, because I played the first Killing Floor back in 2009 a ton with my friends, and it was just this straight up co-op survival horror game, and had a few classes that you can level up and gain a few new skills for, but it really had that satisfying oomph to it. All the weapons felt really powerful. And the second game released in 2016, and it definitely evolved every aspect of the game, but it also turned into a more mainstream type of a game, and felt a bit more formulaic, but a lot of similar games released between 2009 and 16, so that can also be why I felt like it's been done before. But now here we are in 2025 with the third one soon releasing, and it looks better than ever, I would say. And again, I think they've done an excellent job of just expanding upon the horror survival aspect, adding new monsters, new classes, new weapons, new maps. My only concern is that it won't bring anything substantially new to the game or to the genre. Like it's been done before. This one just has more of the old, but with much better aesthetics and more of everything. It certainly looks great. I'm very interested in playing it. I just think it won't have the staying power as the first one had, as it is the exact same game loop. The co-op aspect stays the same, at least with 6-player co-op. You can of course play with less people or by yourself if you want to. And I think they've gone even further with the gore within the game, the classes, the variety. But the core still seems to be the same. You will try to survive against waves of enemies, gain cash, buy upgrades, and then continue in a boss at the end. But we'll see. I'm certainly gonna try it out and hopefully it hooks me. No exact date for this one yet, release is planned for this year. Then we have FBC Firebreak. And if it looks somewhat familiar, this is a game from Remedy Entertainment, and it's taking place in the same universe as Control. This is a first-person shooter where the agency within the game is assaulted by outerworldly forces, and you'll have to defend it with 2 of your friends. I think it's kind of brilliant to place a co-op game within the Control universe, because it's so wacky. They can do whatever they want in here and bring in all sorts of manner of crazy enemies to face you. Aesthetically, it looks very good. It definitely reminds me a lot of Control, and you have a bunch of different weapons to utilize. There are specialized tools, grenades, support items, and other crazy augmentations. And hopefully they lean into the craziness with the characters you're playing as well, and not just with the enemies. I don't really know how the game will be structured, if it's story-driven, mission-based, wave-based, or all of the above bunched together. But the gameplay looks really good. I'm definitely interested in this. No exact date for this one yet either, but release is planned for 2025. Then we have Double Dragon Revive. The very popular old-school side-scrolling beat-em-up is back. I played the old ones a bit back in the day. Not too much though, I wasn't that into side-scrolling beat-em-ups. This one might divide fans with its graphics. I don't really know. I haven't even looked into what people think about this game. Personally, I kinda like the updated style, and that they actually went for it instead of just going more old school with crisp pixelated graphics. I could also buy an argument for it looking a bit bland and a bit mediocre, but I think overall the gameplay looks good, flashy, fast and precise, with a lot of big attacks. Some of the enemies looks crazy as well, but it will be interesting to see if they can nail that old school feeling of the old games while still evolving the game with the graphics and the gameplay. The gameplay seems to be very combo based. You seem to be able to interact with the environment. I get some Yakuza vibes from the gameplay combined with Street Fighter. But yeah, hopefully this will do with the old series justice. Release is planned for 23rd of October this year. Those are the co-op games I think looks the best releasing this year. I'm definitely looking forward to trying all of them. Please comment below what you think are the most interesting ones. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!